This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Feels like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? We have a good game, or we get to talk about good things. Have a bad game, we get to talk about bad things. Have a game where the bats go off. Have a game where the bats do nothing. Have a bunch of games where the pitching is great, and then have one night occasionally where the pitching isn't so great out of the bullpen more than anything else tonight overall. But it's the big picture of the season. Back and forth, 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 back and forth. That is the definition of what the 2025 Houston Astros are to this point of the season, as they lose tonight to the Texas Rangers in game 3 of this 4-game weekend series, and now can only get out of Arlington tomorrow with a split if they are able to get the victory in the series finale. This is the Locked On Astros Postcast here tonight. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Appreciate it as always. I'm Michael Conner, your host. We are live after, I think we've only missed 3 games this year. I had to go back and look at the numbers. Very few. We're trying to hit 150 plus on the games this year. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. The Astros tonight. What are you going to be talking about more than anything else from this loss?
This is what you'll be talking about.
I mean, kind of how I led the show off. Part of me comes into doing some of these shows, and I feel like I'm starting to get to the point where I'm beating my head into the wall. And I'm beating my head into the wall because it's the same thing. Now, look, they're not a bad baseball team. We know that. They're an average baseball team. They are playing around 500 baseball for this entire season. They are bad offensively, and they're good on the pitching side. Tonight, notwithstanding. And so you blend bad and good, what do you usually get? Average. And you really get that when you have good pitching and bad offense. Typically, if you have really great offense and terrible pitching, you're still going to be bad. And you're not going to be a winning team. We've seen plenty of teams throughout the years put up a ton of runs, and they can't pitch, and they lose a bunch of games. It's like they're average, but this is the definition of what the season's been. And look, like I always like to remind you guys, you tip your cap on the other side. Mail, whatever. I can never figure out how to say his name. And he's been tremendous for the Rangers so far this season. I don't know how. When I watch him, I'm like, this guy isn't dominant at all. Like, there's just, from my viewpoint, again, I look at him like, how have big league hitters not figured him out? But credit to him, he's been great. He was good. And, the Astros didn't do anything. I mentioned this last night. You look at how the team was put together for this season, and I don't understand what the thought process was of when they sat there. And I've heard Dana Brown say it many times, we know we're going to hit. We know we're going to have offense. We always have offense. I just don't know how you looked at the construction of this roster and said, this is going to be a good offensive team consistently. Literally have one left-handed hitter. And I don't think we play that up enough, how easy it is for teams to game plan the Astros when they're literally nothing but right-handed hitters. They basically have one lefty in the lineup every night. Right now, it's Victor Caratini, and he's a switch hitter. You plop him back to the other side if you want to. You haven't had Jordan. Don't know how much longer that's going to be. Even if he comes back, he hasn't been good. His protection around him isn't fantastic. Is he going to see pitches? I don't know. I don't know when the ride ends of back and forth in terms of production at the plate. I tell you guys every night, I'm as annoyed and as frustrated with it as all of you. This has not been, in my opinion, a fun season so far. It's just not. I have not had. This is the least amount of fun I've had watching them play since 2013, probably. And I still enjoy watching baseball. But I mean, again, we've talked about this. I'll pull up the. I should start writing this down and then just keep a mark of it every night. Where's my pen and a piece of paper over here? All right, I got my pen. I got my paper here. Let's count live on the air here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I guess I'm here. I don't know. Sorry about that. My computer in the middle of the show here has decided that it needs to do an automatic update. Just go ahead and give you guys a quick preview. Just shut itself off. So we're moving to the laptop here. The Astros lose tonight. It's kind of par for the course, right? It's kind of what we expected at this point for the Houston Astros and for my computer. I don't know what just happened. Completely threw me off my game just a little bit. It is what it is. They lose. Pitching, didn't have its night. Hitting keeps doing its thing, which is nothing. And I'm trying to find a light at the end of the tunnel for you guys when it comes to. And I'm sorry if it looks like it's shaking a little bit. I got to pull the laptop up. It's sitting on top of something, and I got to also move my mouse and move things around here for the show and whatnot. So apologies if it looks like the camera's moving. It's just me trying to maneuver this thing. I don't have a light at the end of the tunnel at the moment. I really don't, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And as I mentioned, I am personally not having any fun. Not that I'm not having any fun, but I'm having the least amount of fun that I've had watching this baseball team since 2013. I just think that's the product that they're putting out. Not that they're putting out a 2013 product. The 2013 team lost over 100 games. This team's going to contend. I think it's what's frustrating about it. Is I look at the AL West and I look at this Rangers team. Okay, the Rangers went out there and they did score 5 runs, but they can't hit a lick at all. Renel Blanco makes one bad pitch there. Jock Peterson takes it out to right, and that's a baseball game. But that team isn't a threat, a real huge threat. The Mariners still have their issues. They're not a huge, massive threat. The A's are young and spunky. They'll be good eventually, but, they can't pitch enough to keep you down. This division is so winnable. Again, so winnable. And here's my problem, as always. The saying is, if you always stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that, to me, is how they operate. Instead of getting ready, or instead of staying ready, to be ready when they need to be, they have to get ready and scramble late. So now you're going to go into this season, okay, they're going to get towards the trade deadline. And they're going to have all these issues. But they're going to be a contender. They're going to be right in the thick of it in the AL West. They're going to be right in the wild card picture. They're going to have a chance to be a postseason team again, as they should want to be. And they're going to have to go out and burn bridges and burn assets to fix the issues that they could have fixed years in advance, in the offseason, just by spending money, whatever it might be. That's where my frustrations come back to. Because I can sit here on a nightly basis, as much as I want it to be great, I can see the flaws. This team is flawed. There is no other way around it. It's not changing anytime soon. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. We'll do that here in a second on the Locked On Astros Postcast. NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Right now, you can head over to FanDuel. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. One more message before we get back to our discussion on the Astros loss here tonight. I'll tell you guys about where you should be getting your tickets. Have you ever decided at the last minute to go head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day. You suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. It's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app drop the closer you get to the first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, tomorrow the Astros will play Game 4 of this 4-game weekend series against the Texas Rangers after falling tonight 5-1. Astros falling back to 1 game over 500 now. So, look, tomorrow you need it to not fall back to the 500 mark again and continue to be what you've been, which is the definition of average so far this season. They have to have it. There's been a lot of these games where we've come in here and we've done it and we've said, hey, you got to have it. And, they're out on this road trip right now that, okay, if you go 2-2 to start it, whatever, we can live with it, right? Everybody can live with that. Figure it out. Do your thing. Then they're going to go down to Tampa, play outdoors baseball in Tampa. It's going to be hot, I'm sure, but they'll be all right. But first things first is tomorrow. They absolutely have to get tomorrow's game taken care of. It's important. These, only 13 games against your division opponents compared to the 19 it used to be a few years ago. These matter a little bit. I haven't seen anything from Joe Espada, but I think it's probably Framber Valdez to Marcus Ryan Gusto came in late in the game tonight for the Astros, so he's obviously not starting tomorrow for the Houston Astros. When the game wraps up tomorrow afternoon, which tomorrow afternoon's game is weird. I honestly don't know how we're watching it. It's on Roku. I would assume it's free. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. But don't worry, we'll watch it. 12:05 first pitch Talk to you guys after on the Locked On Astros Postcast.